Good morning! Today I was meant to be riding around, not even that far, maybe like 20-30k. I needed to go and pick something up from Manchester. However, there are like snow and ice warnings, and so I've been waiting all morning for it to kind of melt, but the warnings are in place until, I think until tomorrow. So I was like, oh, do I risk it? And then I was like, no, don't risk it, because I've done this before. I did it before I had Zwift. I went out on a day where it had been icy and I was like, nah, it'll be fine now, it's all melted. Went on a little lane stupidly and just came off on sheet ice, and it was just horrific. And long story short, I thought I fractured my wrist. Luckily I hadn't, and I was just like, I will never make that mistake again. So I think the fact that Zwift is now part of the Festive500, which is amazing, so I'm just like, I would rather just do 20k on my turbo on Zwift, just because it's safer. There is actually a Rafa ride today as well. I think 5:15. It'll be when you've seen it, it'll have gone. But I think I'm just going to do that instead. I think it's about 60 something k. So I think now, because the ice is here today and tomorrow, I'm probably gonna just be doing the rest of it on Zwift. I might not even finish the Festive500. I'll see how I feel, but I don't think I'll be riding outside again. So I'm going to head to Manchester now. I'll tell you what I'm picking up, because you might think I'm nuts for doing what I'm about to do. I'm buying something bike related, so I'll see you in town. It's not actually that icy. I think I would have been alright on the bike, but I just didn't want to risk it. I think once you've had one bad experience on ice and you've come off, you're like, never again. And I will always try and ride my bike rather than drive most times, but it just was not worth the risk today, so I'm just walking to the shop now. Right, you see me now because I didn't end up getting the thing that I needed to get from Manchester, so I will make another video from that. I don't want to keep it all mysterious, but I'll just chat to you in another video when I'll actually be able to get what I needed. So now I'm just going to be riding Zwift for my ride today. So I'll probably do so the Rafa ride is about 60, so I'll probably do 60, 70k maybe just on the turbo, so not very exciting for you to watch. I love it, but so I'll catch up with you after Zwift. So I've Zwifted, and now it's time for the email part of this series of videos. If you've seen them before, you'll know what's coming. If you don't, then basically earlier in the year I asked you to share me your cycling stories, and I was going to come out and ride with some of you, but obviously with COVID I couldn't do that. So I thought I would just share some of the stories anyway, because I just think they're amazing and inspirational, and I just love hearing about them. So this one today is from a woman called Mia. Hi Katie, I work for a global sports media company, and in 2017 a group of us cycled from Preston to Paris to raise funds for Plan International. Plan do a lot of work supporting and improving the lives of girls around the world. The 6-day ride was a massive personal challenge for me. I've always been active in sport, competing in the odd triathlon here and there. Cycling wasn't completely foreign to me, but back then 100-kilometre days were. But it was also an opportunity I couldn't let pass. I should mention that the company that I work for has thousands of employees, and yet I was the only woman on the tour. That first year, my objective was simple: to complete the ride, and I did. I returned from Paris a better cyclist. I got a new bike, I joined a cycling club, and made cycling my main activity. The second year, I campaigned quite heavily at work for more women to participate. I shared my story and talked about the amazing benefits and how cycling is for everyone. That summer, our numbers doubled, and we were now 2 women participating. 2. The distances were further and the climbs were higher as we picked up the route in Paris and headed to Madrid. Participating in our company tour does require time and financial commitments, but in order to eliminate that, the potential obstacles and barriers, I created an alternative event, a single-day sportive style ride, scheduled for late April, with riders paying £20 each, all going to Plan International. Sadly, this summer's tour were cancelled due to you-know-what. I wish for more women to get involved in cycling. I wish for more safe cycle paths and more mindful drivers. As I evolve as a cyclist, getting hit by a car is my only remaining fear. So I wish for more women cycling all sports on TV. And I'm working on that and pushing at my end, albeit slowly. I wish for more friends who ride bikes, road bikes, gravel bikes, mountain bikes. I'm not really fussed. And I wish for more non-intimidating type cycle groups. Best wishes, Mia. PS. This is not the first time I've cried during some of your videos. You were on an Audax and you'd gotten off the bike. The wind was so strong, it blew your bike horizontal. I remember that well, that was not a fun ride. Through the whole thing, you were so hard on yourself, pushing yourself on. I recognised something in myself, that feeling of not giving up. It was emotional. So I'm just made up that Mia is trying to encourage more women to ride bikes, and I guess that's the whole, not the whole point of my channel, but that's one of the main kind of factors that I do want to encourage more people and inspire more people to get out on their bikes. And I think that's why I share all the positive stuff and then also the down times on bikes as well, because for me, I get inspired not by someone doing well every time. I'm inspired by people that don't always succeed and that are always the underdog, and I find that way more relatable than someone like winning the Tour de France. Like, to me, it's like when you go to like, do you like park run and the person at the very back, the last person in, like, I am way more inspired by that than the person that came first, because they've had to mentally work harder than the person at the front, because they're out for a lot longer. And yeah, I think inspiration for a lot of people comes in a lot of different forms, and that's very personal to you. But I just hope that I can encourage you to try some adventures and do some of the things, because I think when you see someone else do it, you're like, oh, I can do that. And I think our cycling community is incredible for inspiration. There are so many incredible people doing so many just insane things and making it feel like it is possible to do things that I never thought would be possible. And I think we're very lucky to have inspiration in so many different forms from so many different people. There's been so many times, like within my cycling, that I have completely 100% been inspired to do some of the things that I've done. So yeah, thank you to all those people who inspire me, and thank you to you for watching me and sharing my journey. So this is going to be the last video in the Festive500 series. I've still not completed, I've still got about 110k to do, and I don't know whether I'll do it. If I do, it'll be on Zwift, but there is another video coming tomorrow which will be coming out at noon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for the last video of 2020. So I'll see you then. You bloody pleb.